So if you want to be profitable trading, then you need to start trading trades like this. Look at this absolutely banging trade that I took yesterday for around a 3 or a 4R. I actually got up to around a 5R if you count the runner that I took up to this high here. But this trade was absolutely fantastic, and I'm going to tell you how I trade and why I have an 80% win rate. So very simply here, we've got ourselves a sweep of liquidity, followed by a 3 candle pattern V-shape inverse, with the fair value gap being inversed here, as you can see. And then very simply, I just absolutely whacked a ton of size on this and got a huge win. And it's really that simple. I trade this strategy every single day. I don't have to sit at the chart for hours. I just set alerts at these major swing lows and I wait for trades to trigger. If you look here on the 5 minute, every time that I wake up, I'm going to show you this trade. I'm going to show you what I did. So I wake up at about 8 o'clock, as I do every day because I am from the UK, if you can't tell. Immediately what I do is I'll go into my chart and I'll just go on the 5 minute and I'll go, oh, okay, I'll find some of these major obvious lows that we could probably get a trade from. Really simple. It doesn't have to be rocket science, guys. I'll just do this. And then I'll just set alerts at these levels like this. That's not an alert, that's a buy limit. I don't want to do that because I don't want to destroy my accounts. You can see I basically set myself some alerts like this. Really, really simple. And then all I'll do is I'll just wait and see if any of these get hit. I'll set alerts and I'll just wait. So we'll wind this on and then we'll take a look at what happens. So we come down. We missed the low barely there, so I'm not looking yet. And then we tagged the low with this wick here, which was a news candle, I think. And then I look, and I come down, I see we've hit this low, and we've also reswept this wick, which is a news wick, which is obviously a high correlated, good area to trade from, because there is a lot of orders down here. And then I'm thinking, okay, we've swept this low. I'll get on the charts and I'll take a look and I'll see what we get. So I'm here, I'm looking on my 1 minute here, and I'm just thinking, okay, not seeing anything yet, so I'll click forward. I'm just waiting. Okay, we get a nice move down here, and then look what happens here. We come down, we knife through this level. I'm thinking, okay, we might start going down for this LRLR below this trend line liquidity, but we'll see if we get a reaction at the low. And then if we take a look here, you see we get a 1 candle, 2 candle, and then you will see big candle back to the upside here. And we did actually get this tiny 1 minute gap here as well. But then I was looking at the 2 minute and thinking, okay, this 2 minute looks really good. In live time, which I was watching this in, this is what I'm looking for. Sweep of liquidity. And then I'm looking for a bullish reaction, good momentum, 3 candle pattern V shape, which is this. 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle, and then a V shape. You can see we create the fair value gap. We close straight back above it. And with the sweep of liquidity, which is exactly what we've got here. As you can see, this signature in price is a really, really strong reversal price signature, which is what I'm always looking for in markets. Take a trade after a sweep of liquidity. Really good reversal. Look at this amazing fair value gap. 3 candle pattern V shape. Really strong candle back above. I was always going to take this. The way that I enter is that I'll enter on the close. I risk about $200 per trade on like 30 accounts. And I'll basically just be looking for 2 or 3R for consistency rules on some of them. On other ones, I have flex accounts with Lucid, so I just tend to let those ones run for as much profit as I can get because there's no consistency. I'm funded with those. And you can see here, this was just an absolute banger of a trade. Basically, I go for 1R, I scale half and go break even and then leave runners for the rest. That's my whole model. If we come down and close below this gap, again, I'll consider that a loss and I'll close. That's why I size for about halfway between the gap and the low so I can get out if the trade goes against me. But overall, if we wind this on now, you will see this came up and hit 1R pretty much straight away in the course of about 10 minutes. So I scaled half here, $100 profit on all my accounts bagged, break even on the rest. So if it comes back now, I've already scaled some profit. And then I am just looking for targeting runners. And as we can see, we came up to this area here, created a really obvious area of liquidity that I knew that we were going to run. You can see when you create these kinds of really obvious trend lines with lots of wicks, these do tend to get run all the time on NQ. Really obvious area of price to go and hit. You can see we keep wicking into it, and then lo and behold, we actually come into, move out of the way, we actually come into the macro here, coming towards the macro even, and then the macro here, as you can see, we come in and we just basically coming into the macro there, absolutely blast through that level. Total banger of a trade. I basically took, as I said, half off here. I took some more off at this level here at about 4R. And then I had one final runner that ran all the way up to these highs, which was about a 7R. As you can see, we came and tagged that, and that was my trade for the day. Incredible trade. Incredible trade. This is like an absolutely textbook trade that I would take personally. And then I didn't take any more trades yesterday, which was probably for the best, because if we look at price action after this, let's stay on replay mode. We have this ridiculous Trump candle that comes in, where we get this huge thing where he's like, the Iran war's over or not over or whatever. You know, we've just been getting crazy stuff like that all the time. We do have this news wick that we could have targeted here. It's obviously data wicks, as people know, are very good draws on liquidity. You tend to get just like these trend lines that we create like this. These are a really good draw on liquidity that will often get hit. Big obvious wicks like this are a really good draw on liquidity. But then if you look at the open, I mean, this was just really, I mean, we eventually hit the high, eventually, but this was absolute trash for the most part. I mean, look at this. We come down, we kind of sweep this area here, we get these inverses. But then we come down, we'd probably wick all of those out, break even or whatever. We come up, we close for over this gap, we miss the high, we come down again. We get these huge inverses to the downside. Look at this 2 minute and this 3 minute. These BPRs are really, really bearish. This 5 minute close. Look at this 3 candle pattern V-shape 5 minute to the downside. And then all of a sudden here we've got ourselves coming back up after these inverse. Basically the price action was crap, guys. That trade was the one trade yesterday that was super good. And there are plenty of other opportunities like this all the time. As I've said we're really dumping right now. Just looking here for taking trades right now. I need to make sure that I pay attention to this low getting hit. But anyway, guys, that was the trade that I took late yesterday. This is not rocket science. Anyone can do this. Really, trading doesn't have to be that hard. All I do, like I said, I set alerts at major lows. As you can see right now, we've got approaching this low again that I've remarked here. I'll probably try and take a trade from this. And I'll just mark out some more lows down here with alerts like this. And I'll just wait to trade from them. And it's really that simple. It doesn't have to be rocket science, guys. I just wait for major areas to be hit and I trade from them. And usually I get myself a really, really good win rate for this. And it's really simple. My model is super simple. If you want more information about it, watch more of my videos because I talk about it in depth in all of them. Or if you do want to get alerts and more education for my model and how I trade, you can join my community down in the description below. Please do like, subscribe and all that stuff, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.